Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something that I actually have never done since I started this channel, which is to create a tier list. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't believe that tier lists are something that people should be following, expecting, or even trusting. Tier list is just the opinion of someone that has a public to share with, right? In this case, you guys are my public, and I'm just going to be sharing with you my opinion regarding a couple of characters that I believe are good. Again, since Brown Dust 2 is a gacha game, and um, some of the characters are available only for a specific amount of time, and then they are added to a permanent banner, right? It is very complicated for you to just try to get the characters that I'm going to be showing or recommending here. In any case, I mean, if you have the money to get them, you would definitely be able to do so. But in any case, always remember, guys, every game is just for you to enjoy. And what you should be doing is trying to do the best that you can with the characters that you have and love to play with. Having said that, I will start here with my tier list. And it's actually a very simple tier list that I will be explaining to you guys real quick before I start. The characters are all the way to the left are the characters that I consider to be the strongest, and the characters that are all the way to the right side of the page are the ones that I consider to be the less stronger, less stronger on that specific tier. Um, and each of the tiers is not divided by overall damage or overall usability or overall like how good this character is. It's just some divisions that I created, and each specific division have his specific function, right? For example, for the first one, I believe that the most important thing in this game is the supports. Supports is what makes you deal damage. Supports is what makes you be able to crit. Supports is what makes you actually be able to take the most amount of damage that your characters normally would be able to deal, right? So that's why supports are first on my tier list. The best supports in this case for magical team is going to be Helena, and for physical team is going to be Arenas. Some of you would say that probably there are other supports that are better than Arenas for physical, but this is my opinion again, and I believe that she's definitely the best, and I have my reason for it, and I will be explaining in a moment. The other character that used like this character in this case that is Celia, she was not a support per se. What she was a kind of like a damage dealer, debuffer. But now, since the introduction of Masquerade Bunny Celia, she now is one of the best supports in the games that allows you to do massive amounts of damage due to the chain damage accumulation that she's able to provide. So she herself that have three costumes, and all of them would allow you to accumulate a lot of chains that then would turn into a massive increase in damage for your characters. Then we have Latal, and the reason why Latal is here almost to the end is because even though Latal gives you a way bigger attack buff, right? The issue with Latal is that he only gives you crit rate, so you actually need to have two characters for or two buffers for Latal to actually shine. So you would need to either have Latal plus Arenas, or you would need to do a combination between Latal and Rue, which is also here in this tier list, right? Rue have a costume that allows you to get an additional crit rate, and then if you combine those two together, you will be more tanky, you will have more crit rate, and you will have a massive amount of attack as well. But the reason why Ladle is here is because he is mostly used in PvP, because on PvP you definitely only want the attack buff, because mostly you are going to be using the characters that are able to deal true damage, like Justia or Alec, and the only thing that they actually need is just attack for they to function. Then we have Diana, and the reason for Diana to be here, which with whatever of the costumes that she has, actually, if you don't have the first costume for Diana, it would not make any sense to go for the other one, for the new one, right? And the reason for it is because Diana is only useful on a specific scenarios, and she's not usable at PvP at all. Like that's a very very complicated situation because PvP is one of the most important contents in this game because it's the actual content that you know build your characters for. Yeah, so pretty much that's the reason why Diana is there. She's mostly used for the field boss and probably used to complete the 100 floors in the evil castle, and then after that you just don't use her for anything else. Probably a specific challenge here and there, but that's it. So now we are coming up with the DPSers, damage dealers, and it is kind of organized between like physical damage dealers and then magical damage dealers. And we are starting with Elionir. Many of you probably would say that Elionir is not actually the best DPS or the best physical DPS, but for me, I think that she's definitely the best. Her damage is insane, and she not only provides damage, but she also has some utility on her. She have cleansing with her basic costume, have good tiles, and she has silence with the B rank idol costume as well as massive amounts of damage. My Elionir is the character that is dealing the most amount of damage in the last night boss, dealing 3 million damage. So she's definitely one of the strongest characters that I have. Sylvia is now an insane character, especially because of the new costume that she has, allowing her to have a self buff for attack. She has a shield, she has damage reduction, she has counter, she has multi hits, and she just destroys your enemies. And also you are able to get like massive amounts of crit rate and crit damage on her due to her weapon and her basic 20 crit rate that she has for default. So Sylvia, insane character. Then the next one, probably you guys may not agree with me on this one, but is Leatrice. Leatrice is an insane character. Probably I'm biased here because Leatrice was that character that allowed me to complete like all the story in hard and very hard. So I have like some particular love for this character, but I use her every day. She's on my team for the Evil Castle. I only use one team to clear all floors, and she's one of the characters that I have her there. She's just overall good. I mean, her damage is good. Her coverage of the map is great. Her other costume deals massive amounts of damage as well. Yeah, I mean, she deals damage over time. I think she's just great, and her damage output is insane. Then after that, I have Anastasia here. Anastasia is an insane character, especially if you have a good amount of dupes for her, for buff of their costumes. The buff costumes have insane amounts of damage, and since she is getting herself an increase on crit damage, it is very easy for you to get to the 700 crit damage cap, which is amazing because then all you need is crit rate and attack. So yeah, that will cover physical damage. Then let's go with magical team. Angelica is the best DPS overall in the game, and of course, obviously, that means that she's the best magical damage dealer as well. Her damage is just insane, and if you have also chain damage, it just goes even higher. So she's just amazing. You have Scheherazade after that, which has some very insane costumes with a lot of damage, and like that are very cheap to use, like only 3 SP or 2 SP for the full party one. So she's great. We have Dalby, that is an insane character. Actually, I missed that character because I was not playing around that time. But something interesting that I found in that character is that she actually only has one costume, and it seems to be that they are not looking to release many more costumes for that character, because that only costume is you are able to use it for like 3 consecutive turns. So it counts like if you had 3 costumes on her, because you're always using an ability return. That's insane. And the SP cost is actually not that high, so that's a great character. We have Nartas then, that, he's like a new addition as well. I see him more like a nuker character that have some limitations, so I was debating myself into like if it was a good idea to have him here or not. But I think he deals a decent amount of damage, for it to be viable as a magical DPS, and he also covers a good range as well with the attacks. Then we have Gray here that is in the middle of everything. He deals physical damage, he deals magical damage. I think that he's only no, he's always dealing physical damage, right? But his damage is always based on the attack or magic attack of the enemy. He also have defense break. He also have self buff of crit rate and crit damage. He's an overall great character, but you definitely need a lot of dupes for him to actually work, and that's why I'm putting him there, right? Then we have the tanks. I mean, tanks you definitely need them mostly for PvP. There are some occasions in which you are also going to be needing tanks for PvE as well, but most of the time you are going to be using a DPSer that is tanky enough, right? So Glacia is the best one because the only reason for it is that she's the only tank so far that you can build to have 95% defense and 95% magical resistance and some decent HP as well, due to her weapon giving you magical resistance, right? With the suit stats, and if you have tier 4 gear, that would allow you to get to the maximum amount of defense and magical resistance at the same time. Plus, she revives, right? Which make her even better because then they have to kill her 2 times, and on PvP that would be just annoying as hell. Then we have Liatria. Sorry, what's the name for this girl? Um, Sayer, right? We have Sayer. Sayer is a great character because she have the B rank idol costume that give you a SP when she's hit, and she also has self healing with the basic costume. She's more of like a magical resistance tank, and then we have the counterpart, which is Leklis as a physical resistance or physical defense tank, right? The difference is that Leklis is more of an offensive tank. She have a counter. She deals a good amount of damage. Not that useful on PvP because everyone has a lot of resistances, but still pretty decent. And Andrew, a 4-star that is overall good, have an evasion, have a good damage as well, and he's really good to use with Ventana. We have some DPSers then that are mostly to be used in PvP. We have Justia, best DPSer for PvP due to her insane amount of damage as true damage, allowing her to kill pretty much everything, doesn't matter how much defense they have. We also have Alec as well that can pretty much do the same, but with a more limited amount of costumes. We have Alec that, again, overall really good on PvP, many costumes, tanky, deals a lot of damage, and have a buff. Rue, tanky character as well, deals a lot of damage, evasion, knockbacks, shields, crit rate, just an amazing character to have on PvP. And then we have Cry here with knockbacks, SP recovery, and then defense reduction as well. That is very important for PvP due to the high amount of defense that people normally have. Then we have the utility characters, and pretty much this is for battery characters that we always need for the field boss, for example, or when you are completing the 100 floors towers as well. You definitely need a battery because if not, you're not going to have enough SP to be able to beat the enemies. To my understanding, Lucretia is the best character for that. She pretty much gives you full SP back whenever she attacks because of the way in which her skill works. The skills is available every other turn, which is also amazing, and it's not expensive at all, only 2 SP. That's the reason why I have her there, and then I have Eclipse to the other side, because Eclipse does kind of the same, but she also reduces the SP of the enemy, give you some SP back, deals a little bit of damage, have some magical reduction, resistance reduction as well, but she doesn't deal the most amount of damage. So that's why I'm putting her there. And then lastly we have Lila. If you have a physical team and you want to take advantage of the buff that you are receiving, then probably you would consider using Lila if the SP allows you to use her, because she's very expensive on SP. She uses 5 SP, but she gives you back 10 SP if she's able to hit all of the enemies in the cross pattern that she has. And lastly, we have these characters here that, as you can see, I am putting there that they need more work. Ventana is an incredible character, but very situational. She requires to have another character to use either a taunt or a concentrated attack debuff on the enemy. So that's what makes her be there. I'm just waiting for her to have a new costume because I'm pretty sure that if they create a new costume for her and that costume like allows her to um you know put a taunt or a concentrated attack on enemies, then she would allow herself to deal the most amount of damage available with her skills. Rubia has a great skill, a costume for the pirate costume is insane, but her base costume is so bad that that's what makes her to be like some kind of like lackluster character. And we have Zenith. Zenith is a good, decent character, but the only problem here is that um, she really, I mean, I don't think that they are going to be releasing any more costumes for her soon, especially because you can use her costume like pretty much every turn. And yeah, I just don't think that having to use an slot for Zenith is justified. I just don't think so. She just doesn't provide you enough utility for you to consider doing that. So that's why I'm putting her there. Probably later on they give her another costume, maybe it would be better. And then we have Yuri here, that's a new character as well. She's actually pretty decent. The only problem is that, yeah, she has a 100% self buff of attack. But since you only have one costume, you actually can not take advantage of the full buff, right? Because you would have it for 2 turns, but then on the first turn that you use it, you would take advantage of it with this costume, but then on the next attack, you will only use basic attacks, so you're not taking full advantage of it. She still needs another costume with better multipliers as well, because this one, the multipliers that he has are very, very low, so yeah, that's why I'm putting here that she needs more work. Yeah, guys, there are many other costumes, there are many other characters, and probably you would say, yeah, I was expecting you to talk about every single character, but I don't want this video to be extremely long, and I just don't think that it is worthy to mention any other character. If you believe, guys, that there is something else that I should have mentioned, or if you think that probably there's a character that should have been in a better position than what I put it here, again, this is my opinion, but if you guys want to share your opinion, that would be great. Just put it in the comments. I will be reading and I will be answering, as always, whatever you ask or whatever you say. Thank you so much for watching my channel, guys. If you are liking what you are seeing, please just consider subscribing to the channel, giving me a like and comment something on the comments, so that that helps me a little bit with the algorithm. And yeah, so guys, thank you so much for being here, and as always, see you in the next one. Peace.